Hello, everybody. Before we get started, as always, I want to give a shout out to the lovely music you've been listening to during pre-stream here. This is Retro by Declan DP. You can find the information in the about section of, not about, credits section of my Twitch stream. So, thank you to Declan and everybody like him who makes other free to use or low cost assets for us streamers so we can have better streams. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Why is that not reacting? I know why. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I had to fix my microphone. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever it is in your part of the world. I am Deuscain, your variety type streamer for the night. And tonight we're returning to some Citizen Sleeper 2. A visual novel style type game that I have been enjoying a lot. Got a lot of good resource management. Hopefully it'll help me manage my mouth because apparently I can't talk tonight. I'm all talked out from earlier in the day. But no, played the first game, really liked it. Super happy when they came out with the sequel. So we've been playing that the last couple weeks. I think we're past like the first third of the game, maybe approaching the first half of the game, where we got through the tutorial, we did some of the introductory stuff, and we just recently got an upgrade to our ship that is going to make it significantly easier to traverse between different systems and planets. So yeah, so it should be a good time. Really excited to get back to it as always. But before we do that, as always, we're going to spend a little bit of time chatting, catching up. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. I was incredibly busy today. I ended up getting a call from somebody at work like 15 minutes into the day saying, hey, Mr. IT man, this one person is 100% down and cannot work at all, and they're a manager. Please help them ASAP. I know it's not usually your day to go into the office, but I'm like, no. It's fine. I'll get in there as soon as I can. You know. Well, how quick do you think it can be? It's going to be a minute. I wasn't prepared to go in today, so I'm going to have to pack some stuff up. So I got myself ready, got into the office by, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour after that. And I spent the next 4 hours helping this lady to zero effect. Her computer is still fucked up. And it's a great big mess because of how we do things and how we run things. And yeah, when something goes wrong and it goes wrong bad, it goes wrong real bad. Which is kind of, bang my elbow there. Which is kind of the unfortunate thing when stuff starts breaking real bad. But we persevere. The day is over. I am free once more. I've got some time to play video games. Though also, if I seem a little sleepy, I did not get my afternoon tea, so I had to... I'm teeing up now. And most of it's done, but hopefully it'll help me wake up a little bit for stream, but also not keep me up the rest of the night. We'll see how well that works. Okay, tea's all done. But yeah, so hope you all had good Mondays. Hope you all had a good weekend. I had a pretty decent weekend. I finally beat Sekiro. I finally got took out Sword Saint Ishin. That's the one I fought. But yeah, generally a tough fight, generally a tricky fight. End up getting the first 2 phases of the fight down pretty well. Genichiro and Ishin 1. Ishin 2 was a brutal fight. Like when he pulls out the spear, when he starts using the gun, I'm like, oh no, this is actually just awful. Like this scaled up so tremendously faster than I was expecting. And yeah, it's real heckin' hard. But I persevered and I managed to get him down after about a day of trying. Because I think I got to him after stream on Friday night and was playing mostly just Saturday. And then following defeating him, rushing through a New Game Plus, I managed to get back to the end of the first major section of the story and have chosen the Shura ending to try and get all of the bosses for that achievement. And I don't feel ready for the fight against Emma and Old Ishin because I keep losing. I've gotten Old Ishin to phase 2 once. Mostly I'm just kind of ineffective. I'm still learning him. His sneaky dodgy stuff is a real pain in the butt. Because I think he's the only enemy I've fought that acts that way, so it's a very different mechanic compared to everybody else. And I have to keep, like, fighting the urge to do what I do for every other fight, which is take a couple of swings until they finally perfectly deflect me. And then, like, that back and forth kind of gets broken a little bit. Let's go. But I'll get it eventually. So, should be a good time. Yeah. Sorry, there's the Eepy Sleepies. But. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna, like, actually try to platinum Sekiro. In part because I'm on a PC, and you don't exactly platinum games on PC. But I am at 26 of 34 achievements. What do I have left here? I do not have the achievement for Immortal Severance. I don't have it for the Shura ending, or defeating Ishin Ashina, which is required for the Shura ending. I didn't do the Purification ending. I did Dragon's Homecoming for my ending. Man Without Equal is defeating all the bosses once I beat Ishin Ashina. That might be that, though I might have to do the gauntlets for that one too. And if that's the case, I don't know if I'll do that. Height of Technique I don't have either for acquiring all the skills, or Master Prosthetic for upgrading all the prosthetic tools to the limit. So, a couple of those I don't have yet. But, yeah, for, you know, all but, what is it, 8 achievements? That's not too bad, because it's basically 3 endings, a boss guarding an ending, all of the achievements, and all bosses, all skills, all tools. Or all tools maxed. So, not too bad. Plus, I have an earlier save that I was working on, and I could just honestly use that to get either Immortal Severance or Purification. Because they wouldn't be too hard to do. Especially because I don't need to go and do anything like fighting the Demon of Hatred again. I could avoid that fight entirely. But aside from that, let me think what else. That was kind of the big thing for the weekend, was beating Sekiro. I kind of tried to take it easy. Did a little bit of cleaning, but I was pretty wiped out by work by the end of last week. And then from the sounds of it, today was even worse for my coworkers than it was for me. Like, I just feel a little roughed up by all of the work I did without anything to show for it for the lady that I was working with. But just the fact that, like, one of my coworkers had to chime into the main group chat and say, "Hey, I have like 4 high priority urgent tickets right now. My schedule is full. Stop giving them to me, please." Which he didn't get yelled at either, because he's just like, "Hey, stop it." Stop it. So yeah, we're all having a bit of a case on the Mondays. So aside from that, yeah, like when you spend all day focusing on like working with one person, she was better off than by the end of it than when I found her, but her stuff still wasn't fixed. So that's the frustration of it, I guess. But man, the temperature's really hot in here today. I'll be back in a sec. I'm gonna adjust the temp a little bit. Trying to dry something out because I had a small bit of an issue in the bathroom this morning. So the way the shower head is angled, like, it'll sometimes hit the back of the wall and like push water out onto the floor. And when I took my shower this morning, I went to go step outside. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of water on the floor. So I'm currently like drying out my shower mat, and like it was drying most of the day and it still ain't dry. And I'm like, I don't need mold on this. I don't want mold on this. Could we just not, please? So we are currently attempting to remedy, but increasing the temp in the apartment to try and make it easier to dry that thing out is not helping me. So we're going to set it back to a reasonable temperature. But I set up a fan earlier, so it should take care of it. But yeah, like, I don't have anything crazy. Slowly working my way through a book that I got because I kind of had this urge to go and reread an old book that I haven't touched in a long time. But when I went looking through my personal library, I couldn't find it. So I think I either gave it away or sold it or something. But the book is called Single White Vampire Seeks Same. It is a book about basically like what happens when supernatural creatures enter the dating pool. And it is at times kind of sweet and at times kind of like ridiculous. It's mostly centered around like personal ads from like the 2000s. The book is like 20 years old. So it's like people putting personal ads in the newspaper. But it's entertaining and fun. Like the first story is about Cupid matching people up through personal ads and like literally being like, they're never going to call each other, but they're perfect. Fine. I'm going to take her info and send it to him, his info and send it to her, and it's fine. It's going to work. And it does. And Apollo hauls the sun across the sky in a Ford pickup truck. Very modern gods of him. One of my personal favorite stories, though, is about a guy that puts out this like extremely comical personal ad that you look at it and like every other word is just like, this is a werewolf ad. This is a werewolf looking for somebody. So he ends up getting like a werewolf groupie who shows up, gives him some mind-numbing sex, and afterwards she's like, oh my love, I can't wait to meet the real you. And he's like, what do you mean by that? And then she tells him, and like it just cuts from there to him having lunch with a friend who's viciously mocking him for his personal ad and how bad it is. So his friend like talks him up to like let her down easy and be like, no, I'm not a werewolf, those don't exist, you know, sorry. But he caves and tells her he was just joking and, oh, don't worry. And then he has to go back to the friend and be like, so I lied to her again. And the friend's like, why did you do that? So that whole mess happened. And eventually he ends up having to like try and I think he ends up like asking his friend where to go and find a gypsy to curse him into becoming a werewolf, because if they can get rid of curses, they can bestow them, right? So it's as ridiculous as it sounds, but it's pretty fun. And what was the last one I read? I think the last one was like the bastard son of Henry VIII turned vampire is putting out personal ads and keeps like getting personal ads with a whole bunch of other supernatural creatures. Like the first one was a succubus, the second one was a djinn, and he's just like, man, I just want somebody to talk with for a while, but no, I keep getting other people like me who are using it to feed, and I don't want to get fed on, nor do I want to feed on somebody. This is just about like actually making a connection with somebody. And the succubus was the first one he met, and she's like, yeah, sure, honey. Look, I'm sure you'll find your Robin someday, Batman. He's like, what do you mean? She's like, oh, you've been out of the media complex for a while, haven't you? Don't worry. You'll get the pop culture eventually, kid. But yeah. Entertaining book. But I kind of like read bits and pieces of it here and there rather than just sitting down and reading through it. So I shall finish eventually. But I think that's about it for any kind of news from me. Sorry I don't live a more exciting and interesting life, folks. I should just stay home and take care of stuff and then play games. So let's get the game booted up and let's hop on over. There we go. All right. So I have 3 points. I just got the cat. I remember. I just got the cat. So you can go to the Hollow, get spores from the Greenbelt, Scatteryards, or Scatteryards. Because we helped our hacker do a thing. Right. So that place is blockaded and we can't go there anymore. So the Greenbelt is there, but it takes more fuel than we have. There's the Scatteryards and there's the Hollow. So let's go to Hellion Gate and restock. And then from there, we'll go to the Greenbelt. And then from the Greenbelt, we could go down here to the Hollow and then up here to the Scatteryards. Hopefully. Because I don't really have good dice for the day. Oh, that's a controller input. I'm like, I'm pressing Y. Feed the cat. Right, and we're gonna upgrade the engine too. But I don't have parts. Wasn't that a thing? Guess I don't get points for it. Can't repair the dice. Somehow say I needed fuel. Data scraping or endurance. Endurance, man, I'm glad I took some good endurance skills. Three fuel, so I'm maxed out on fuel. +1 supplies. That was a neutral outcome. I might as well use the 2 that jumps to a 3. +1 supplies, so I'm maxed out completely. See if I get anything good here. Neutral outcome, raw scrap, -2 energy. Oof. Greenbelt is 7. Should be a bunch of food in the Greenbelt. Hey, Labris. Happy Monday to you. That's not right. I missed the first letter. Think? Did I miss more than the first letter? Why isn't the shout out working? What? Error reaching Twitch's API servers. Wonderful. Oh, there we go. Brokey. Yeah, it's a brokey. Man, I got some bad dice here. Arrival tower. Entry convoy. Supply depot. Storage. Come on, kitty. Alright, engage or interface? And I got terrible numbers for these. Negative energy. Yay. Alright. Just gonna top off my supplies. I hate doing it, but... I have another clock here? Oh, +3 travel. Jobs for cryo. Let's try and scavenge some fuel, maybe? Or actually, I probably just did cryo. There's no way they'll let me get trapped on a place. Yeah, I'm just gonna sleep this off. 2 1s and a 2 is pretty brutal. Better. Wake up to something soft and furry rubbing against your nose. You sit bolt upright, the stray kicks off your bunk and settles on the ceiling, back curled up looking down at you accusingly with those big eyes. Sorry. Stray gently pushes off the ceiling with a soft paw and descends to the edge of your bunk, where it hooks its front claws into the mattress pad. Seeing the cat move in 0G is still odd. It seems to come naturally to it, yet its shape is so connected to gravity and weight in your mind, a cat should have the heavy, soft form of a mammal, not the languid, liquid presence of the floating thing in front of you. The stray uses its hooked claws to twist and spin itself, so it softly slides against you with its back, rubbing against your arm and purring. You know what it wants. Pet the stray. Run your hand down its back, and it shifts its spine in a fluid motion of appreciation. The stray closes its eyes and purrs. It's funny to think how the stray got here, perhaps on a ship from the inner system, slipping in at the Eye or Sintra. Before that, its ancestors were perhaps carried out to Hellion by Solheim executives who had the power and arrogance to bring a cat into space. But this cat, the one in your ship, was born here. That much is obvious. It's a creature of zero gravity, a being that orbits and glides, not one that leaps and stalks. It passes your hand, encouraging you to continue petting. It's an animal that is part of the crew now. You can't imagine the rig without her. As you look down at the stray, as nameless and inhuman as you are, the memory returns. The warmth of atmosphere's filtered sun, the weight of flesh and fur, the smell of growing things. You know what this memory is. It couldn't be more obvious. It's a memory that crossed the gap of your creation, a memory from the mind that was copied, emulated to make your own. It's a part of me. The memory is, in the end, a mistake. Those who designed the sleepers never intended you to carry the memories of the minds that were copied for your creation. They wanted you to emerge as new beings, offshoot from the branch of a human's life, to be cut short when needed. But mistakes can so often become the most powerful and meaningful of emblems. They can guide a being more strongly than any success ever could. That's because at the heart of every mistake is the possibility of change, or a shift in the status quo. You have lived a life of mistakes as much as a life of successes, and look where it has brought you. So you accept the memory and let it wash over you like the sun. You focus on the stray, and as you do, both memories combined, you're stroking both cats separated by time and space, feeling both sets of sensations in double exposure. This doubling is what defines you. You are multiple, branched, diverse. You make no apologies for this, and you know that you will only accumulate more selves, more variants as you persist. You claim the mistake and the possibility it offers you. You settle in your berth, delaying the moment of waking, of greeting the cycle a little longer, sharing an unspoken solidarity with the stray that is more expansive than any words could capture. It sucks, though. Greenbelt access. Greenbelt buzzes with focused activity. The passage is full at shift change, then emptied once work begins. The place that runs on its own schedule, but comfortably so. That comfort being brought by one of the largest food producers in the belt. There's always work in these fields protected by a thick layer of thick skin of transparent layers, and you can see why the humble life it offers has captured more than a few of the belt's itinerant workers. Sleeper, the voice, soft but forceful, takes you by surprise. Aki, Greenbelt Administrator. Apologies, I mistook you for someone else. I'm Aki, what brings you the Greenbelt, friend? I guess they were in the previous game. Looking for work. Let me show you around then. Leads you through a series of doors. Stops at a bridge overlooking the soft curve of farmland that makes up one of the asteroid's 2 biospheres. Leaves flap in 0G, waves spreading out across the sea of green. The varieties we farm here are specifically selected and customized for microgravity. We feed them from beneath, irrigating and nourishing them through the very medium they grow with. The light of Hellion helps us with this, of course. Squint through the transparent roof at the distant pale sun. Where does the food go? All across the belt. We exchange it for water, materials, everything else we need for our crops and our workers. The farm sustains us and we them. What about you? Could you contribute to such a place? A green and growing strip in the gray belt? I'd like to. Feel free to take a shift below anytime you wish. I'll tell the others to expect you. The plants have a kind of peace, an eternal quality that makes them seem less fragile than they are. This place, like any other in the belt, has its pressures. It is for me to navigate them. I must attend to them. I'm glad our paths crossed. I hope they do again. New locations discovered. Wheat Sheaf Workers Bar. I can buy a meal for 10. Oh my god, a maintenance shift. Thank you, God. Engineering. I got 40. Man, fuel is cheap here. So let's stockpile those. Rest another cycle because I hate those ones. Okay, not the best dice rolls, but my 4s will become 5s, which I like. Energy, that's good. If I was smart, I would have actually saved those 4s for later. Alright, cat. Stray is part of the crew now, but she still likes to spend time in her little nest in the supply store. Okay. see here. This should hopefully be the last one. Yep. We have a natural ability with plants. It's rare. That's something I want to discuss with you. Notice the selection of our fields has been lying fallow. It's been like this ever since I took over as the administrator. My predecessor was the one to fail it, and confidence was lost in his vision. We've been unable to recover it. No matter the crop, the preparations, nothing will take. Leads you through a set of double doors, second biosphere. The air is dry, thin, choking dust. With its output halved, the Greenbelt is under threat. Those who wish to control this space are circling. We cannot lose our independence. This wasn't always in the belt. I was born on a moon, Ember's Step. Failed experiment in terraforming before the collapse. We survived by cultivating the dust. I came here like many in the shadow of war. My ship lost. But it held the key, and perhaps it holds it still. Steppe silk, a plant that thrives in the dry and the dusk. It might thrive here. I've seen your ship, and you've shown me you can be trusted. I want you to go to the remains of my own, the wind's long shadow, and recover anything we might use. A plant, a husk, a seed, anything. It's a desperate step. Where's the ship? Lies wrecked beyond the sunward edge of the belt, beyond the Hellion Gate. I don't know what remains. My crew and I were lucky to escape. Greenbelt has reserves of cryo for moments like these. We'll repay you for retrieval, and depending on what you're able to retrieve, this is our final recourse. I hope I will not be judged as harshly as my predecessor. I can offer you fuel for the trip from our reserves. The journey to Hellion Gate. Come on. Oh, man. She's going to give me fuel, and I already have fuel. New contract, new drive. That is a major drive, so that's actually going to be 2 points. So I could up Endure to a +2, or I could go here and reduce stress for my my push. As long as I could do that now. But a +2 for endurance is actually pretty nice. +1 in anything else is actually pretty good. But she wants me to do a thing at a bar that I don't need to work in. Got the depot. Can I work and do anything else while I'm here? So they want 40, but oh, I literally can't go anywhere and do anything. I'm at nothing. We gotta go back to the Hellion Gate. Which I might as well, both because my own clock is ticking, and there is literally nothing else to do here. That's annoying. So you could actually get stranded here. All right, let's go do this job. Okay, we got a lot of 6s, and we need to feed the cat. Aww, special feeder. Straight purrs and rubs against your side as she glides over to eat. Nice. Okay. Here. This should be a perfect. How much fuel do I get? 3 fuel. That's good. How much do I need to get to this thing? 4 fuel. 100 cryo per husk. That's pretty good. Do I get 2 supplies or more? 1 supply for a positive? Jeez. Alright, so I'm maxed out on supplies now. I don't necessarily feel like burning the other one and having reduced energy. Let's go over here. So I don't know if hacking is going to be required. I'll take these 2. It's probably suboptimal. But if I do need any hacking, she's going to be amazing. And I don't need the engineering, and this is situational at best. Alright, let's go. Wind's long shadow floats, broken open at the sunward edge of the belt. One of the refugee ships made the fraught journey out to the belt from the inner system before war took hold. It's a monument now, warning any other vessel that might stray sunward. The last ship out of Ember's Step, I can see it was beautiful once. Hard to imagine this cold, dead place might hold the key to some future settlement as verted in this Greenbelt. That's why you're here. Step silk husks. If there's anything left, it'll be your job to continue its journey from this place. There's no salvage job. You need to be delicate. The more of these things we can get, the more she'll pay. Not to be totally mercenary. Alright, delicate. Time to put that to the test. Crop processing, storage vault, broken dusk house. What we got to work with. Intuit and interface. I am not good at either of these, so I should use my big rolls there. Endurance and Intuit. This isn't bad. And this is engineering and engage. Okay, so she's worthless in everything. None of us are good at this one. I'm the only one good here. It'll take time. How many of these? Oh no, this is interfacing. This is good. Neutral +1 stress. This one's a little bit tighter. Endurance and Intuit. So I got 2 for that. We'll push this. Alright, so that one's coming along nicely. So much of this stuff is like plus nothing. This engineering one's pretty rough too. I guess I should use the bad ones here. The worst I'll do is give myself stress and potentially break my dice. Crap. If I break my dice, I break my dice. I broke a dice. Positive outcome. Engineering and engage. Interface. So that's good. And then we will push. Now let's leave this open for Junie to help with. I'll use that here. Where failure actually has a problem. Let's end the cycle and see if I break another dice. No. But I do have some good dice this time. So he's not good there. But he is good here. Depressurization is not great. I don't like that. Could wait a little bit on that one. No, I've got enough space to be a little ballsy. He's not gonna add 2 to depressurization. Okay. Retrieve all 3 step silk husks from the wreck. If the wreck wasn't dead before, now scoured of the final husks of life, it surely must be. Seraphim winds up the drive, you give the wind's long shadow a final look on its resting place. Sorry to feel sad about another chunk of scrap orbiting in a system that has made nothing but scraps of past regimes. People who lived and built this ship, these people are worth a moment of memory. Okay. You know, I did this in 2 cycles. 3 cycles. Minus stress during travel. We're going to go back to Hellion Gate and then recoup on stuff. As always, feed the cat. Let's see, we need to repair myself. Feed my hungry kitty cat. One supply. figure it's worth resting a cycle here, if only to get rid of that glitch. There's that glitch. But we're gonna go here and top off supplies. Go here and top off fuel. Stray's not part of the crew, but it's nice to spend time in our little nest. We're still feeding the cat. And that's 100 cryo per, I think. You bring the step silk husks you gathered from the ships alongside of Aki. She's as pleased as you would expect. Meet her on the bridge. Sleeper, thank you. These are a new beginning for us. How was she, the wind's long shadow? Must have been beautiful once. She truly was until they killed her. Everything must die in the end. The belt makes wrecks of us all. But you have brought me, this is new life. Give us time. We need to clear and re-seed the other biosphere. I hope you return to us when the work is done. Thank you. Watch her carry the husks gently away, glowing with the promise of fresh growth. Wait for Aki to seed. Jesus. And do what? Like, there's nothing to do. Oh, wait. Oh, God. 6 cycles? I can't wait. But I can retrieve the spores. Feed the cat. Yeah, I just wish there was something to do here, because there's literally, like, nothing. You can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. Supplies are topped off. Yes, I have, like, 2 5s and a 6, and I can't do shit with them. Alright. Help Nemba turn to the far spindle. So Hellion Gate first, then far spindle once I've gotten some fuel back. Those are terrible numbers. Could be worse, but they're not great. Fuel and energy. That's a neutral. Jeez. Yeah, let's just get out of here. Those dice aren't even worth it. Not for a bunch of danger jobs. Better dice. You remembered us. I'm a little surprised. Look at the chief. He looks tired. Those sharp eyes have been dulled in the time between your meetings. Happy to surprise you. I'm not surprised, but it's still a pleasant feeling. Not in great condition, though. How long have these been bouncing around in your hold? And they're like that already. Now that I can believe they didn't bother to bring them to the right station after all. We have a place picked out in one of the bays to cultivate these warm, damp, near air recycles. Shouldn't take long before we have mushrooms to cook. You follow him to the kitchen. Remember your shifts here. Much same as before, as you may notice, but twice as oversubscribed. Each cycle, more refugees come out of the inner system. The war isn't going anywhere. They disperse across the belt, but of course, many don't take it much further than the overhang, especially if they can't work. It's not food either. We need blankets, housing. Tell me, how was Greenbelt? Well run. It was organized as cooperative, all the workers sharing their goods. No chits, only resources. That's right. I mentioned it because, well, it might be the kind of place to offer aid to people here. I regret being mercenary, but waiting for benevolent helpers doesn't work. Apart from present exception, of course. Sure, I can talk to him. It's where the shop, but you need their trust first. Earn that, then talk. He's suggesting he was waiting for your suggestion. Well, I think I have an ad break starting soon. Takes one crate of spores. I'm sure they could use these. Take them the spores as a gift. But don't begin the spores. Begin by understanding what they need from you. Trust me. Meanwhile, I have a meal to prep. Thank you for the spores. I'll keep asking for help. You have to forgive me for that. Doesn't mean I don't understand what you're giving. Now get out of here. New drive, but I did get my point. Anyway, we are going to switch to an ad break, and we'll be back in a little bit, folks. Or did I just finish one? Might have just finished one. Well, I'm going to trigger one anyways. So, be back in a few minutes, folks. Everybody, we are back. Let's hop back into it. So we just finished turning in the mushrooms. Thank you, Labs. We just finished turning in the mushrooms to the one guy here. And... oh, we can do a thing here and maybe get another quest. So that's stuff. Trade hall lets me buy things. Window's Edge, Scrapper's Ship. No, I got a lot of work I can do here. Cryo. Oh, it's engaged though. And that's the stat I can't level, isn't it? Yeah, no. Guess I'm never getting that quest. Intuit or interfacing? I kind of want that +1 in Intuit. But a +2 in endurance is so good for some areas. I'm gonna take that. Like, yeah, I'll take the +2 in endurance. Keep having to go to Helion's Gate so many times, I might as well. Positive outcome, 11 cryo. This is a good place to resupply. So I easily earned back more money than I spent. As always, feed the cat. I can't go that way because of the impassable zone. So the Helion's Gate first. 2 5s. Feed the cat. +1 supplies. And I'm not using the 1s and 2s. So Greenbelt it is. Oh my god, what is with those dice? All 1s and 2s. All 1s and 2s. Let me just end the cycle and see what I get. So we got plenty of fuel. I probably shouldn't have bought that, but that's fine. Let's rest for another cycle. The hunt's still not back up yet, so... Biosphere once barren is transformed, where there was once dry and gray, now swirls with amber dust, a hazy cloud cut through with bone-white tendrils of steppe silk. Aki in mask and goggles lets the biosphere circulating airplay with the end of her scarf. It's woven from the vast fibers of steppe silk itself. That's why this place is known as Weaver's Fields, for the workshops of Greenbelt residents creating fabric from steppe silk fibers. Using a beautiful ember steppe reborn on this rock, not as an archive of something new. Plants themselves are reconfigured, the steppe silk adapts well to microgravity, even thrives, and the dust itself becomes a cloud that surrounds it. What was once a burrowing plant is now a bridging plant. Like us, it projects itself across the empty space, pushing out into its new conditions. Sorry, I'm rambling. This place does that to me. It is beautiful. Thank you, I'm glad you like it. Let's leave the Deuscain so we can talk more inside. Unfamiliar tools. This is just the beginning for us. Steppe silk's already being harvested, redded, and woven. There's no synthetic fiber from the Darkside looms. This is natural fabric out here in a natural place. We'll trade it and get what Greenbelts need to stay stable and feed its people. I'm the administrator, but the workers are the owners here. We'll make the future ourselves from our work. We want to control the path. What more can we want? The idea of such a future so desirable is almost painful, an idea that haunts you. Spend as much time here as you'd like. I find the noise soothes me. Thank you. There's something want to ask me. I can see it there on the tip of your tongue. Hey, Perry. Thank you. Much appreciated. Do I talk about Nembra? Let's ask about Nembra. Listen carefully as you talk about the refugees on Far Spindle, the possibility of setting up a mutual relationship between them and Greenbelt. Far Spindle's a long way from here. Come find me in my unit later. We can discuss more then. Your location, major drive complete, 2 points. So this one's making food, and this one's making clothes. Working in a unit now, the steppe silk is established and it's stable. Maybe the right time to bring her the spores. Command, you've not seen her in this setting before. She seems paler, older when she isn't surrounded by the soft light of the biomes. Just a moment. It's your least favorite part of her administrative position. Son, what have you brought me? A gift. Whom? Let me see. She unlocks the warren, caches to the crate. You explain Nembra and his work to feed the refugees in the underhang. You're unsure she's listening. She seems too eager to see inside the crate. Managed to get the lid open, lifts the dented canisters out. She turns it, bringing it aside. Spore prints. It's quite a gift. From this Nembra, you said? Make good use of these. The tunnels under Greenbelt will make an excellent mushroom garden. I was lucky enough to be taught how to tend mushrooms by a true expert. Who was that? Someone from my journey here, a botanist on Erlin's Eye. She was very kind to us. She would have liked to meet you. I would like to meet Nembra. Perhaps we can find some commonality, but I can't leave Greenbelt now. A little nervous to ask this, given you're ferrying back and forth, but would you bring Nembra here so we can speak? Gladly. I hope that would be the case. The Weavers, I need to speak to them. One more run from Greenbelt to the Far Spindle and back again. At least you aren't carrying spores this time. And there's still nothing to do. Alright. Feed the cat. And the hollow's 8. This is fewer jumps. The first to notice them small, white, smooth shapes at the boundaries between the hull plates and the seams of the plating curling out from beneath the vents. Mushrooms growing on your ship. Doesn't seem hygienic. It's hard not to agree that you doubt the spore and fungi can have a significant effect on your body. Now that you've risked it before, we should vent the cargo bay. This is what comes from having spores in wonky crates sitting in your bay cycle after cycle. You're not hurting anybody. We know from Nember that these are edible, so we could farm them? Always short of supplies, but a few caps don't make a meal. I like a good mushroom. Back on the eye, they had their amazing matsutake these matsutake that smelled amazing. Look at the cargo bay. Doesn't get used much. Most of your halls fit comfortably in 1/4. There's plenty of room to isolate a little growing area, maybe with some plastic sheets. Or you could just open the hatch and let the void of space sterilize the whole thing for you. After all, if these things get in the air recyclers, they could have serious problems in your hands. Who knows what they might do to the wiring. Keep the mushrooms. Are you sure? Yes, keep them. Still need to figure out how to harvest and repair them, but I think it's a good call. I'll be right, the rig is busy enough without adding an extra ecosystem into the mix. As you leave the bay, suddenly you realize you've taken yet another project. It's becoming a habit. Don't vent the cargo bay. Alright. Three fuel. Three fuel. Feed the cat. Ooh. Things I can do. Alright. So end this. I do want to top off on materials and supplies, but having something I can spend resources on is actually kind of nice. One supply, but I lost an energy. That's fine. -1 energy, and I am starving. Alright. I can't do anything without one, so we're gonna ignore that. -1 energy. Fungus farmer. Let's top off on supplies and feed the cat again. Go, 1 supply. And I will rest, and we should be able to finish the mushroom farm today. Ironically, no longer needing to farm supplies. Ugh. It's a bunch of ones. Harvesting mushrooms takes intuition. It's working, but you have to wait for the fruiting bodies to grow before you can harvest them for supplies. 3 cycles. Okay. Boy, Greenbelt and Beyond was... I should have called it Greenbelt to Greenbelt and Back Again, because that would have been a better name for stream, but it works. Oh, I need 10 fuel to get him somewhere. Okay. Spindle's Edge. Trader's Hall. That tops off my fuel. Aligning arrays. Is this good money? That's about the same as everything else. Cryo. Okay, we're flying him there. Aki comes to meet Nember at the entrance of the grain fields. You can tell she's in full administrator mode. Her brows are precise, her words carefully chosen, but her manner is not without its distinctive warmth. Nember responds in a kind, taking a diplomatic tone, but the wiry grin for her benefit. Aki provides a tour. Watch them from one of the bridges, their conversation muffled by the granary. They both look at home amongst the growing things, their hands reaching out to touch stray leaves, faces dappled with sunlight. When Number returns afterwards, you aren't surprised to see him pleased. Plans are in motion, optimistic plans. What did you negotiate? It is, I hope, a mutually useful agreement. She graciously offered a steady supply of stepsil cloth for clothing and construction of shelters in the base of the underhang. We're also going to see about settling people here in the Greenbelt to work with farmers. It's always a little strange to talk like this about the lives of people who have been exposed to so much suffering, but we do them no benefit to couch our words in platitudes. Aki understands that. She's a refugee herself. She fled her moon many cycles ago. We share that as well. You fled the war? I did. Does that change how you see me? Would it have made you treat me differently? Sorry, I'm being unfair. I just find there's an exception that if I'm a refugee, I must be desperate, I must be begging for aid, I must show my suffering. I prefer to make plain requests or even better, strong demands. You think back and forth the journeys made by Aki and Nembro, the aid that was asked of you. Would you have done the same if the request hadn't been so strong, the demands so obvious? Speaking to Aki, I see she has experience in the same treatment, though I think she's less hardened by it. We both have our own reasons to do what we do, for why we enjoy it in our own ways. We don't need to explain ourselves to others. I'm glad to have met her. Thank you for your part in it. Glad to help. What I like about you, Sleeper, is that I believe you when you say that. I'll stay a little while longer. She's promised to take me back to Far Spindle in the first shipment of fabric. I'll then gather those who wish to come here and send them back in the same freighter. The exchange begins. The work never ends. Say your goodbyes and leave Nember on the bridge and join the dappled light. After all the shuttling of spores across the Belge, you have a clear view of Aki and Nembra and their responses to their own hardships. They're not saints acting from a position of purity, but pragmatists with an intent to change those things that once marked them. The future they build together is one you're eager to see. Major drive done, and I got 4 points. Hell yeah. So I can't level engage. 'Cause... 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 ' But if I put points into these, I can make my push much better. Because -1 stress on a positive die, that push is a very, very high likelihood of being positive. So costing 1 stress but reducing it by 2 actually reduces the overall amount of stress I have. And that can save me from breaking more dice. But this one also just makes it not cost any stress at all. And I'm curious what that would do. What do I have as other missions? The fraction ship in the hollow. I've got the major one for cadet. I feel like I'm going to have at least a few more missions. So let's... First and foremost, I'm taking at least one of these. Oh, it switches it. It doesn't get you... Oh, fuck. That's not what I wanted to do. You know, that's severe enough. I'm going to try something. We're going to shut the game down because I do not want to lose 2 points for respecking something. I do not want to do that at all. So let's boot that back up. That was not obvious. Time to find out how badly it broke. Ooh, Cycle 99. Yuck. Okay, I still have my 4. I still have my 4. Okay, we're gonna take into it. Because this is just a trap over here. I can't level engage, so... And then I have Aki to help me out with the interface job, so Intuit is a better skill to learn. So everything except for interfacing I get a bonus to. This one is still... not good for a lot of things. Okay. So I fed the cat. I still feel like there should be something here to do. Like once you finish the quest, this place is just kind of nothing. Like you can go and buy food, but like you can't work. So it is possible to get stranded here. I don't have anything for the engine. So the only places left are the Hollow and the Scatteryards, but I can't go through Darkside yet. Sleeper, I'm gonna head into the Radius Markets to find my contact, the one with the data on the Felion. You should come with. 2 sets of eyes are better than 1. Who's the contact? You know how it is, and man never reveals his contacts. Just an old friend, one I've traded favors with a few times, who's a good nose for data trails. But trails run cold quickly. We should get on his. Heads up the airlock. You watch him go, unsure what his swagger might hide, but you've come this far with him. Maybe it's time to see where it all leads. New location. God. Yeah, those are not great things. Ooh, engage is in both places. New location discovered. Buy a meal, buy supplies. Ghosted contact. Cargo bay is ready for harvesting. So let's feed the stray. Let's feed myself. Let's do some harvesting. Oh, it's just energy. Oh, I wasted the supplies then. Yeah, I'm not using the 1 and the 2 then. 4s, 3s, still pretty low numbers. It's good odds there. Neutral outcome for ghosted contact. Positive outcome. Positive outcome. See if I can't finish this one up. The market surrounds you and Eugene. Much of the architecture is built on Solheim equipment as a corporation in the core. Their structures tend towards cardinal directions, towards respecting gravity in a place where it has little effect. The radial market has no such bias, no single direction. The sales and stalls and shops built from scrap frame and hull plate project outwards from all 8 of the surrounding walls. The effect is overwhelming with activity and interest in all directions. Sleeper, take a look. He jerks his head on the market. As you're drawn to a group of dark-suited spacers with shaved heads, 5 of them gathering around another retreating figure. Noticeably distinct from the rest of the crew, their tight and complex suits, pristine condition and all the same design, a rarity among the belt's ramshackled fashions. You see one of them is gesticulating aggressively, chopping the air with his hand. Not the singers. The ones they're threatening. That's my contact. Things are about to come to blows. He sees the shift too. Before you can say the word, he's off, gliding hard through the crowds towards them. You give chase without thinking, kicking off from the nearest strut and angling yourself to the central void. Oh my god, that pointed into it is super helpful. Positive outcome. -1 stress. Put out your arms, try to gather them down. Eugen, the singers gather around you, but they don't start throwing punches yet. Peter, leader of Ember's Song Refugees. This idiot with you? Yeah, he is. Can you ask him to calm down, please? So, do you have a reason for interrupting my business? He gestures around while some people have moved on. If you are hanging on to watch what comes next. About to jump my friend. They aren't popular here. Misunderstood, we were simply asking for information. I think he told you everything he's happy to share. Peter looks at all of you and then surveys the crowd. One of the singers starts to interrupt, but Peter raises a hand and silences them. See you around then. Smells a sharp smile. Please, how about not here, come with me. A nervous signal chaser. What business do you have with the singers? Is that what you call them? First I've known of them is when they turned up a few cycles back and started pressing me for info. I've run into some before, not these ones, but they all dress the same. The refugees out of Ember's Song, one of the moons that has a gas giant in the inner system. It's a volcanic hellhole, so while these guys are refugees fleeing the war like most, they tend to be tough as hell and aren't used to being told no. That checks out. They've been pressing me for data for cycles ever since they showed up. My data, you've been shopping it around then, trying to drive a bidding war? Nothing like that. I just wanted to verify the data. I asked around. Someone I showed it to, well, they mentioned a fraction drive? You see Eugen bristle with anger. Louise keeps talking, speeding up. That was all. A couple cycles later, these guys, as you call them, started showing up, and I had to have myself away. Hard to run a data business when you can't even go out to meet your clients. Where's the data now? I have it, don't worry, and it comes with a hell of a story. The friend I showed it to, he told me he's heard about that ship before, mostly what he thought were rumors, but a fraction drive ship. Apparently when Solheim collapsed, there was a struggle over who got to take it. Two execs from the old corporate hierarchy wanted it. Some of their underlings found out about it too. Those wrecks you visited, that was the site of the battle over the thing. The ship was a hot ticket even then. Vector twisted and blasted the remains of the ship, the wreckage strewn across the asteroid. I wonder how many died to keep the Aphelion path in its golden drive. Seems like the execs got space, but someone came back later, slipped the ship out over the wrecks that was carrying it. Here's the funny thing, rather than use it, they're dismantling it, took the ship apart here at the Hollow. Hell, there's probably strut work from the Aphelion path in this very station. So it's gone? Not quite. They weren't stupid enough to dismantle the interstellar drive. Story goes they buried it out on a rock in the shoals, totally unmarked. With thousands of rocks out there, they could leave it as long as they wanted to come back when they were ready. The thing is, they never came back. Bingo. I've got the coordinates of the beacon that will lead you there. Should have led with that. That's just the start of the trail, no doubt, but it'll get you there if you manage to follow it. Hey, you gonna pay for that? Not after you leaked that fraction drive information exists to your friend the Singers and anyone else who's looking. Keep it quiet next time. Come on, the Singers just donated my clients. 50 cryo for the effort, or just whatever you have, I'll take it. I'm desperate. I'll pay him. I appreciate it. Hey, look, be careful with that one, alright? He's not to be trusted. You turn and he's already gone. You follow him out of the container. Time to go find the fraction drive. End the cycle because I don't want that one. Good dice. It's not endurance, it's intuit. Make that too useful. Or not. Alright, well this is more important, so... New location. Scrap dealers. Buy fuel. Sell fuel. Please find work. I want to make money. You're kidding me. New location. Ooh, engineering. That's pretty good. All right. And the cycle. Good dice. This should finish it. Last location. Line arrays, into it. Solheim data, that's not bad. Engineering. Disappointing. A little bit of cryo. Perfect nets me a still garbage amount of cryo. Well, that's fun. Alright, let's see. What do we got to work with? Couple 6s, 4s, I like that. Got here. What do you mean fried, Kimball? Our station depends on that array. Been patient. Now you're telling me the repairs are almost done, but you're telling me we can't broadcast anyways? It's a woman facing away, addressing the back of a man half buried in the guts of some machine. Sorry, but that just feels malicious. The man mumbles something in response. You don't catch it. The woman turns and spots you peering through the doorway. Oh, hello. I'm Serene. Seeing you here working on the repairs. Appreciate your efforts. Happy to help. How do you feel about the war in the inner system? It's worrying for the belt. I agree, which is why the belt needs to stay informed about it. But you know that Senstat has already started shipbuilding in Sinza? I think I heard about that. Have you? Because the only place you would have heard it from is us. Heard a grunt from him. We are the Hellion Dispatches, the only pirate radio station in the belt. We keep the system up to date on shifts in the system power structures and ongoing corporate war. All the voices of Hellion Systems' own residents. At least we did before our transmitter got fried. What happened? All that repair work you've been giving your time to do? That was all caused by a Conway autonomous munition trained on our scent. We do know that for sure. Why else would it come so deep into the belt to hit the hollow at our broadcast site? Either way, straight after that attack, we found our gear had been tampered with, sabotaged. Yes, or just looted. Either way, we're now quiet, and when we are quiet, the war continues unobserved. I mean, my crew's looking for work. I'm sure you are, same as any other crew, but trust me when I say this, pirate radio does not pay. Look, we need a new broadcast array, a better array. We don't have quite the reach we'd like. Where you get one, that's another problem. We're talking pre-collapse tech here. It's not something you can just build ourselves. Yes, Holmes Rock isn't a bad idea. It used to have a relay station. Stands to reason they'd have arrays. There's a terminal there. Kimball's been bugging me to dig out some engine components for him to crack open and use in his repairs. God knows what kind of repairs he'd need those for. Now, maybe we can do a little fundraising here in the Hollow. What we can get, we'll happily hand over, but I'm telling you now, it won't be a lot. See what I can do. It's hard to tell if the job will be worth your time, but then again, someone as knowledgeable as her would be a useful asset. New drive. It's a minor, so it's only worth +1. +1 supplies. That's not bad. That's what I get on a positive. Oh, I bet that would work on missions too. There's my meal. There's my rations maxed out. Did I feed the cat today? I did not. Let's just go here and get more cat food. Or cat food that costs literally more than engine food. Alright. The Aphelion Beacon. We don't know what it'll give us other than it's a major. So he's locked in. And this is the only skill I don't have a positive in. So it makes sense to bring them. Yeah, I'd probably use that one guy more if I wasn't an engineer. We're coming up on the beacon site. Signal's weak, which is what you get for chasing 10,000 cycle-old leads that got a lot of people killed. Time for you to go poke around these rocks. Enjoy. Barely seems to notice the sarcasm. Kind of fixed determination and come over him. Let's suit up and find the beacon. Lewis said it's the first of the trails, so the faster we locate this, get ourselves pointed to the next, the better. Enough messing around. If it's a signal we're tracing, we should think about trying to triangulate it. No point in wandering around finding whatever else beacon planners left to overly curious travelers. Needs to be on the trail of a piece of history, though. If the Aphelion path was real, well, it'd be quite the find. You think this is a bad idea? Me? Look, people have been searching for this thing ever since the collapse. There's a lot of desire directed at one hidden drive. Objects like that tend to get people in trouble, at least in my experience. Take it slow. Keep your eyes on Eugen. Alright. Oh, interface. So that's a 6. Let's just push that. Into it and decryption. This one's trickier. My dice aren't as good. One stress. That's fine. One stress is manageable. We do have food that we can harvest out here. Oof, his rolls are terrible. Alright, let's use hers along with my 5. We're in. Your part of the plate removed, and you're pretty sure you have access to the coordinates you need. All that's left is a slot. Is to slot a drive. Got this, easy as can be. Peer into the beacon. It's a delicate job of setting security access. Got it. Let's head to the next one. Look alive down there. We got a ship on approach. We need to make ourselves scarce. He destroys the beacon. A shrill beep wakes you up from stargazing. Terminal screen flickers, some of them not coming back on. You hear groans from more deep in the ship. A pulse, an energy weapon. See a red dot moving further away from the center of a circle. The ship is accelerating away. It's Vesna. in one, the Limehound, registered to the Far Spindle. How did she find us? Now because he's a sloppy operator, that's how. Now we're stranded. She knocked out our drive, must have been waiting for us. We need to get it activated again as quickly as possible. Beacon has to be there. Vesna cracked it and then waited for us to catch up. She was trying to dissuade us. Well, she's done a good job. But now we're so close. Eugen's right. I think the singers are out there too. If we're lucky, they'll cancel each other out. We decrypt the beacon, fix the drive, no distractions. Need this would get complicated. We have to keep the find at the end of this trail. Let it fall into incurious hands. We need to be the ones who claim it. Look, we're in this now. No way back, only forward. The moment this goes south, and it will, I will pull you out and we're leaving. Whether Eugen wants it or not. We can handle it. Hope you're right. So what are we working with here? Blue sucks for both of these. Between engineering and... we got some good work. Engineering and endurance. Nice. Oh, that's gonna take a minute though. Took a stress. Push my worst one just to get a 6. And then I'll use my +1s for engineering here. Yeah, I can finish this in one cycle. Got some very good rolls today. And the only thing he can do is help with the force startup. Everything else is just going to be terrible. Bad dice. But I got to fix the ship. She can't help here. He isn't... His numbers aren't great. I don't mind him taking another point of stress, though. It is his job. Yeah, screw you too, Eugen. We're gonna push this to a 5. Got ads in 5 minutes. And that should be it. Should be the last of it. Seraphim punches the final set of coordinates into the console, runs a fresh set of diagnostics, everything comes up green. Atmosphere is tense, none of you know what you're flying into. His jaw is set, his eyes are on the stars and scattered rocks. His final goal is in reach. It's not a goal to be underestimated, a faction drive, one that can take any ship out of the system and beyond, one that can forge a path through the surrogate systems few can take. Freedom, both from this system's political and structures of power that dominate the passage of people. Problem is, such a lofty ambition is infectious, seductive, it's desirable enough to draw people out and bring them to their absolute limit. You've seen that in Eugen. The singers, too, are shaped by that desire, and Vesna, steely-eyed captain you don't seem to be able to shake. Who's going to flinch first? Alright. Here you are, moored around a remote and airless rock, a scattering of debris, concealing an object of great value, and a system spiraling into war. We're here at last, but there's no one started shooting. Vestin would kill as a last resort, the singers I'm less sure about. Reassuring. So what now? We get out there and start digging? What do you think, Eugen? He's already gone. You go after him. I'll keep the rig warm. I have a feeling we're going to need it. He's already out. Squinting into the faint and distant sun, you can make out two figures in suits standing a far distance apart in the middle of a loose circle of debris. Now, none of us want to die out here. Vesna and the leader of singers, Peter, face each other across a dusty plain. Vesna's arm jutting out from her body, her hand resting on her object at her hip, a weapon. Keep your distance, sleeper. This godforsaken rock is crowded enough as it is. We set foot here first, the claim is ours by anyone's judgment, and I suspect we're also the best equipped to find the fraction drive and put it to use. Anyone's judgment? Who do you see out here to validate your claim? Sleeper's our witness. I'm sure they'll verify our claim. I didn't see who was first. Well, at least someone still here has integrity. Look between the two of them, searching their faces for an intent on opening anything. Vesta's ocular implants keep nothing away, but the visual tension in her gun arm suggests failing patience. Peter, meanwhile, projects an atmosphere of considered calm, but there's a violence behind the benign smile and the crew of singers somewhere out there in the dark. Oh, what do I pick? I don't actually know. Well, we got an ad in 2 minutes, and I don't want to be rushed. So why don't we take the ad break now, and we'll come back to the decision here. Gotta run. Have a good night, Labs. Thank you for stopping by. I'll have to chat again sometime. It's been a while. Alright, everybody, we're back. Let's hop back in. I still don't know what to pick here. I'm gonna tell them back off. I'm gonna stake my claim. Raise a single eyebrow above her metal eyes. You have to come and take it. Her arm tenses. The shot is silent, its direction unclear, but the effect is immediate. The side of Vesna's suit explodes in a geyser of escaping oxygen. She spins, clutching at the wound to clamp it closed. As she does, you see a shot graze her, splitting the suit but leaving her body beneath intact. I want to run and get that fixed. He holds a long gun at his hip. Let's all stay calm as he slowly moves closer. You son of a bitch, she's doubled over, unable to take her hands away from the hole or suit without risking immediate depressurization. Turn yourself around, get in that ship of yours, and go back to whatever the hell you crawled out from. We can't abandon this claim. For the Singers to survive, we must leave the system behind. There's no way for us to support ourselves here. Our moon is gone, eaten up by the war. The belt will be next. You may as well shoot me here if you're not going to let me take the drive. It's my people's future. Well, if you insist. See where we have incoming, a lot of incoming. A whole load of Conway ships are coming this direction. Conway, what are they doing here? Not about to radio them and ask, but it's not hard to imagine the news of this fraction drive has reached further than anyone wanted. You reach across at Peter and see his lips moving, but hear nothing. He's talking to his crew. A moment later, you hear a click as he switches back to the open channel. If you just heard what I heard, then you know we're out of time. Peter looks deadly serious now, his face diplomatic calm, falling away. Your Singer's the only crew who can pull out the fraction drive before Conway arrives. There are more of us. We have the experience. Let us take it. Don't let it fall in the hands of this system's biggest enemy. Sleep or get back to the rig. No. The drive's ours. I've worked too hard and come too far to let it go now. You're all insane. I'll leave you to your graves. She kicks off the rock, arcing towards the crimson shape of the Limehound. If I leave him behind... I will fail. I'm gonna tell Peter to back down. Idiots clicks out of the open channel. Shot hits Eugen in the shoulder, spinning him back across the circle of scrap. Feel the splatter of debris as another shot zips past you silently, only an inch or two wide. You turn away from Peter, see glints of light on the otherwise dark shapes of the horizon. A mat of black suits armed Singers hiding in plain sight against the darkness of space. They're everywhere. Yeah, we're grabbing him. We're getting out of here. Suits out gassing spins the both of you now, but you manage to reel him in, clamp your arms over the hole. Aim for the airlock as another volley of shots splatters you with chunks of metal and rock. You glide in the airlock. A few orbs of blood. She away, tends to the gash at his shoulder. Grimace of pain and frustration. Seraphim is rapidly starting the drive. His console screen is filled with red pulses, signatures of Conway drone ships bearing down on this lonely rock. Glances up at the cockpit, says nothing. You're thankful for that at least. It's no time for glib remarks. Take one last look at the Aphelion Path's final resting place. Now cloaked in clouds of fresh dust, you think of the Singers down there, no doubt already wrenching the fraction drive from its hiding place onto their ship. Conway is their problem now. And then the drive kicks in and you leave the Singers to their fate. I feel bad for Vesna. Ship's quiet as you dock with the Hollow. No one's eager to speak about what happened out there. Even Seraphim is silent, tapping away at the engine shutdown with comfortably routine motions. Eugen bandages his shoulder, a sleeve compressed the wound beneath his clothes. Looks drained and pale, but otherwise you wouldn't be able to tell he had been hurt at all. You know it'll take him some time to come back from this, extract himself from the hold of that faction drive that dream held over him. Wonder if he ever will, but the freedom that object represented to him will haunt him for the remains of his life. Know at least that now this is not the time to try and discuss it, to lay out exactly what happened out there. Eugen will retreat, of course, hiding beneath the glib personality you've come to recognize as his shield, but perhaps as cycles pass, he will find himself changed, perhaps not. Either way, there's much to be done, and this thankless adventure has derailed you enough. Time to get back to work. Find the fraction drive without using Eugen. Let the dust settle, so I gotta wait for something. Engine components. Where the hell am I going to get engine components? Either way, the cat's probably hungry. Alright. Signal ship here with interfacing and into it. Is this a good job or a bad job? Decent job. Neutral. Positive. Neutral. Meal. And supplies are what are really expensive. Good lord. Okay. Alright, let's go to the shipyards at least. Winking signals of the yard flash across the dark starscape of the belt. Each one's siren light for crews who need repairs or eager for improvements. They live up to a reputation, but Seraphim will not be drawn by the lights. He guides the ship into an empty, ragged-looking yard, darker and more frame than plate. It looks rougher than any of the others. Best shipyards rarely have the brightest signs. Thought you'd know that. Marco's the best in the Scatteryards. Best or just the best you know? You'll see. We're safe here. No need to run from Lane for a while. He'll never find us in Marco's yard. It'd be nice to get a break from running. I hear the Scatteryards have good data analysis terminals in the hub, if you can spare me. Hello, Seraphim, as he glides eagerly through the airlock. You and Bliss exchange glances. Both of you are used to his headstrong moments, but you can't help but feel that the now familiar pull of someone else's problems. Marco! Oh, Marco looks nice. Finn! Oh, Sarah, Finn. Nice. Alright. Side by side grinning. Marco's eyes quickly fall on you. A slight narrows just he has immediate thoughts of your presence. So, this is the one you were flying with now, Finn? Bliss, you two used to be crew together, I assume? Me and Finn? No, we were drinking buddies. His response provokes a kind of laugh from Seraphim, some joke you can't catch the tone of. And a sleeper. My condolences. It's a damn crime what those corporations do to you. At least you're out, huh? I appreciate the solidarity. Of course. Been too long, Finn. Not flying the old Betty anymore? No, that's long done. That's the way of the belt. Come on then, not floating around in this drafty old thing. Let's get a drink. Feel free to make yourself home at the yard. Hell, take a little fuel. I've got loads of the stuff and it's been quite a few more. It's been quiet for more than a few cycles. Happy to spare some for a friend. I'll have him home in a cycle or two. I'm gonna dig around in the other yards for some components the rig could do with. You got things to do. You think we could cadet and wonder if she found her way here to the Scatteryards to extradite the data on the Hexport drive. Oh, we got quiet in that worried bliss. Just take care out there, okay? Oh, there's a couple spots in here. The rig. The yard. My only option is to go over here to the transit hub. Alright. That one's gonna be crap no matter what, so. Hey, wait up. Glad to see you. This is not my kind of station. All the yards have their own water and facilities, meaning the hub here is not fit for general use. There's a couple of guest houses. You do not believe the state of them with all the spaceships that stop here for shore leave. You don't want to know. Sorry I couldn't come sooner. On the run, I get it. You and me both. So get this. That girl of mine who said I said could crack anything, she's gone. Didn't even leave a note. Ran to Darkside, maybe? Not that I'd blame her given the state of this place. She left her workshop empty, though, so I slipped in. That's where I've been napping. Been doing my best all these cycles to crack that drive, but I'm a spindlejack, not a data scraper. Which is why I'm happy to see you. Telling you I've not spoken to anyone in a long time. How about that alert they put on you? Doesn't seem to stretch too far out of the spindle, but I've got to be careful. Hence, not talking to anybody in ages bit. Like I'm in over my head. How about you come down to the workshop, we put our heads together and see what we can pull out. I just know there's some nasty shit on that drive. Stuff worth getting out into the light. Nasty enough for them to ruin my life over. I'll be there. Alrighty then. Workshop's in the tech cluster. You'll see it. I gotta find something to eat that isn't dried. Fabricator Bay. A one-time fee. Got the data. Buy supplies and fuel, which is dirt cheap. Buy a meal. Build engine components. Have errors and it's worthless. Okay. Time to feed the cat and get some sleep. Ooh, good dice today. 4s, 5s, and 6s. Component craft. Engine component fabricated. Oh boy, that's gonna be a minute. Alright, what do we got here? Okay, so this one gets me more points. but isn't a skill I have. This one's longer, but is a skill that I'm good at. Ooh, component errors. At a neutral outcome? Damn. Agent comes to find you in a quiet quarter of the rig. I want to say something. It's been uncharacteristically quiet since your journey on the Aphelion Pass resting place. Even now, you recognize the seriousness to him. I need to thank you. Appreciate what you did for me on that rock. You pulled me back from something I wouldn't have come back from on my own. That drive, that ship, I want to say they possessed me, drove me to it, but that would be an excuse. I was the one who chose to pursue them at all costs. The blame lies with me. You didn't do anything wrong. Nothing you know about. Spoke to Louise, to Vesna. I know what I did. That's for me to reckon with. The way you treat me, it makes me believe something, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm not much of a believer. This ship, this crew, I put it at risk. I will not make that mistake again. That's what I wanted to say. He explains. You see a little weight rise off his shoulders. He stands a little taller, some of his swagger returning. You don't know the extent of his past. His actions have only been hinted at, but something in his belief in the future he's just professed endears you to him. He takes a deep breath. I don't like to owe people, but for you, I'll make an exception. Watch him go. You think of Vesna, the singers of Conway, of everything that swirled around that faction drive like a storm. There's something dark and dangerous in an object like that, one that subsumes lives into itself, one whose gravitational pull is strong and often terminal. Eugen has, with your help, wrestled himself free of that pull, and you're glad of it. Both of you have paid a cost, one that neither of you is likely to forget. Drive failed. So I guess it's possible to actually get the thing. Damn, that sucks that the drive failed. Sleep, are you in here? Seraphim floats in, his arms above his head. We need to talk. I'll follow him. Leads you deeper into the guts of the yard itself. He begins to speak. Told Marco about Lane, about our escape, about everything. He gets it. He worked in Darkside. Comes a sealed door with hammers on an entry code. Remember in Wellspring after everything what I said? That we can't run forever? I mean, that'll always be true, but no, that if we want to be free, we need to fight back. Door suddenly squeaks as an ancient motor kicks in and drags it across its corroded tracks. Reveals a large, half-lit chamber, its furthest parts masked with layers of scaffolding and frames, so it's hard to tell where the room actually ends. At the center, Marco floats beside a terminal screen. Been busy plotting? See Marco out, alright? Sorry to drag you out here, but I can't be overheard on this one. We're close to Darkside here. New Sobo have ambitions, shall we say, in the Scatteryards. Vin told me the whole story. I'm sorry for your troubles. You've done well to evade Lane this far, but you must understand he's also been distracted. Since Hexpart went up, the Darkside has been in crisis. If the war was the pressure shift that allowed Usobo to build its strength, Hexpart was the breach to blow it wide open. Hexpart's their justification for imposing total control in the name of protection, and if my hunch is right, it's how they'll extend their reach to the Scatteryards. Where's this going? Straight to business, this one. I'm done running, Sleeper. I hate looking over my shoulder every cycle. I hate the nightmares. I hate the fear. I want to face this head on for better or worse. I won't be controlled by Lane, and this is our chance to break that control. Lane is hunting you, Sleeper, which means he's not in Darkside. This is good for you. There are people in Darkside resisting Usobo, though I hear it's not going well for them. If you could find them, find out what they need, there's a chance here. Taking action is a choice right now, Sleeper, but soon it won't be. Not if what Marco is telling me is true. Let's do this on our own terms. What do we need to do? Not get ahead of ourselves. I'll need some time to work this out. If you two want to go to Darkside, there's no way you can take that stolen rig. It was a big enough risk just to bring it here. So I need to find you a way in and a way out. I know it can be done. Recommend you take the next few cycles to prepare. The Scatteryards are a good place to both spend and make cryo, depending on your need. And Finn, try to stay cool. This is recon only, a chance to see what happens on Darkside and make your connections. It's not time for grand gestures. Thank you. We'll keep things quiet until you're ready. This is our chance to shift things, Sleeper. Let's keep our heads in the game. I'll start preparing. Should give Marco some time. I got a few things I want to take care of in the Scatteryards. Make a message to Tala. I know she would want to hear from me before. Let's make sure we're ready. Keep your head up, Sleeper. I'll see you on the rig. New location discovered. My dice suck today. They said it's a good place to make money, but, like, make money where? Oh, there's other stuff over here. Two energy. How many parts do I need for the ship's engine? 8. I have 6. I'm not fucking with that one. Decent numbers. But they aren't kidding about him not being easily impressed. That's my first negative in a while. There's too much stuff to do here. And Seraphin and Marco waiting for you in the hidden room when you meet before. They're chatting quietly. Marco's got something good. Tell us. I don't know if it's as good as Finn says, but it's an opening. I heard from a friend of mine who runs a shop in the yard at the edge of the cluster. Way out of here. Makes a tidy profit off selling fuel to freight crews on their way out in the Darkside. He undercuts the Darkside fuel prices, which is cut to Usobo, so they stop off at his place to fill up before heading in. This guy owes me a favor. I'm going to call it in. You can get us onto a few of the freight crew, swap us out for the usuals to stay at his place and let them have a few drinks on him. The crew, meaning us, will deliver the freight, complete with a stopover for cargo loading in Darkside, which is when you do what you need to do. We have as long as we need, but the more time we spend there, the more likely they'll discover us. We'll keep our heads down, sleep and eat on the freighter. Once we're done, the freighter's loaded, we can take it out again, return to my friend's yard, swap the crews back, no one will even know we were there. That's good? It'll work, right? We have to check the crew list. On the manifest? Not gonna happen. Who's to say you aren't the names on the list? That's the belt. It's gonna be tight, but I reckon you can get what you need in time. Make some connections with whoever is resisting the Sobu. Get an idea of their operation. Look for weakness. They'll have to be quiet. No noise, no attention. This can quickly become a one-way ticket. You can handle that? I'm not sure we're ready. So one more thing. Someone needs to stay with the rig. Someone who can pilot it if there's any attention in the yard. It has to be like this. I'm sorry. Marco's going with me. I know the Darkside. I know Darkside. I'll guide you all the way in and all the way out. There's room for one more in the crew. I'll leave who that is to you, but let me give you some advice. You better be sure you really trust anybody you take on this one. You look between the two of them, just you and Marco might be the safer option. The fewer people, the less likely you give yourself away. Then Marco doesn't keep his end of the bargain. You want all the backup you can get. The problem is we have to go right away. The freighter's arriving this cycle. Sorry I can't come. No, I don't want to go now. I want to leave. I want to do something else. Doesn't seem like I have a choice. I'll be ready whenever you need. Just give me the word. We'll head out to my friend's yard. Let me go back to Darkside. And I just want to make ship components. Component fabrication failed. Yay. Alright, I'm getting it perfect on that one. Scrap component fabric. Damn it. So it doesn't even guarantee a good one. So you need 2 perfects. Oh god, I need 2 perfects. Hi there, is that a Sorath raid? Hi there, Sorath. Maybe a shout out here. Nice little love raid, thank you very much. Is that bot working again? Or is that still broken? It might still be broken. Love the outfit, thank you very much. Yeah, I think my bot's still broken. But, hello everybody. I am Deuscain, Variety Tape Streamer. We are playing some Citizen Sleeper 2 tonight. Nice little indie game. I think it's an indie game, yeah. But we are doing work in space. Pocketwatch Shane is a very nice touch. Thank you. Yeah, my designer did that. I gave them the basic idea of like the suit and the vest and the tie, but they added a little extra accoutrement. So yes. But Sora, thank you and your community for raiding me. Obviously, if you need to take a break, take a break, take a rest, get some food, get some sleep, completely understand. But otherwise, you and everybody here is welcome to stay as long as you'd like. Thank you as always for stopping by. I really appreciate it. As for me, I've got like one more thing I can do here, and I am almost out of time. Take a breath, people. Need those nowadays. Yeah? You're not wrong. Oof, negative outcome. Could use some shut-eye. Yeah, then get some sleep. No worries about raiding and running. We go ways back. Get some rest. Time-sensitive contract active. So where am I going for this one? I'm going over here. Confirm Vector. He is good at engage, which is good. He's good at intuition. And I trust Junie. She also fills out my skills set, so. Time to party. Let me grab the lemon juice. Yeah! Freighter hangs over the ragged shipyard as the rig idles in the dock. This is it, sleeper. You better get going. Don't get too bored. I'll do my best. I hope they have something to drink in the yard. Just don't do anything reckless. Ready to go, sleeper? The crew replacing is already in the yard, so the sooner we get on board, the better. How you feeling? Just fine. What's this game about? So we are a sleeper, which is basically a robot that somebody copied a human mind and put it in the robot and is making it work for a company and a corporation. But, you know, people don't like that, especially when they treat them as badly as they treat robot people. So a bunch of sleepers escaped and got out, and we are one of the ones that's on the run. And we got apparently involved in the mafia. They did some stuff which both helps us and hurts us, and they've been trying to track us down and get us back ever since. So we're out here doing a bunch of odd jobs and stuff in the meantime, and now we are going into big mafia-infested territory to try and find some intel and see if we can get in and get out. We want to do this. We need to trust each other, sleeper. Airlock cycles. He leads you into the yard. Now's the time. Any questions, concerns, you speak up. What do we do when we get there? That's mostly up to you, but if it were me, I'd say we ask some very soft questions. Try to find those organizing against Usobu might be meeting, although we could focus on just checking out the Usobu themselves, see what they know and what they're up to. I could use a robot body. Well, see, here's the thing. In the first game, there's a mechanic where they're literally like, hey, you will die if you do not get this drug. Your robot body was designed that it needs this injection of something called a stabilizer. And if you don't get it, your body just shuts down and you die. They got rid of the mechanic in this game, but that's basically you're designed to break down unless you're given stabilizer by the company. That's one of the ways they keep you chained, because you can't run away because you will literally just expire. But you come out of the entrance to the other docking tunnel. Junie's waiting by the docking bridge, looking sheepishly in a set of crew overalls with rolled up sleeves. Sleeper, is this really necessary? We're being discreet. Why aren't you wearing any then? These things don't even have close to enough pockets. Where am I going to keep all my gear? Sounds like future diabetes? A little bit, yeah. Ugh. I have terrible dice today. 2 1s and a 2. Alright, Darkside sprawls across the starscape. Its surface a vast accumulation of structures, lights, and signs. You watch as the freighter cut across the belt as it grew, cycle by cycle, like a stain across the cockpit glass. Watching it approach, the fragmented memories of your past there drift through your mind, each one dissolving the moment you try to focus it. Only the sensations remain. Despair, claustrophobia, fear, all somehow strengthened by their disconnected nature. It's as if, not being attached to specific memories, they can run free through your mind, as alive as they were in the first moment of feeling. Instruction received, appreciate it. Incoming to strut 2-3. First step complete, we've got docking approval as expected. Let's keep it together, alright. I've got this. Stay silent. I get it, this place comes with a lot of baggage, right? I can understand that. But you aren't here alone, not this time. We'll look out for you. There's an agonizing wait, and then a chirp as the code is accepted. The freighter's docked. Let me go out first, talk to the docker, start unloading, then you're good to go. Sure. So we're waiting. You just have to find a type of person, someone unhappy with the Usobu's gains, ready to risk their life to change this place, pushed to a point of desperation or anger. The more doable. First, you must understand them, see how they run this place, where they meet, where they talk. Find where their weakness, find where they can be broken, and then talk about the pressure that might be applied, not just by you, but by all of Darkside. You're tapping in the corner, see Junie with her deck out on her lap, fingers dancing on the keyboard. She looks hard and focused. What are you working on? Me, oh, just a project of mine. Sorry. Four-legged shape appears. It helps me relax, coding its behaviors. The cat lifts its paws and bats at a handful of pixels. I'll stay focused on the job, won't happen again. It's cute. Yeah, I guess it is. Airlock cycles once more. Moments later, Marco's in the cockpit, sweat beating down his brow. He takes a moment, his mood uncharacteristically flustered. Well, I bent the truth back there, but I think we're good. Luckily, I've had a lot of practice lying to dock workers. They'll begin unloading later this cycle, they won't be in a rush. We have our time as promised. But Usoba are watching these docks, that I know for sure. For now, it's just another freighter, but all that are coming and going, that could be a problem. But you can try to disable their monitoring or just get the job done before it becomes an issue. I'll take a look. Either way, we need to get on with what we're doing. Usoba are everywhere, but we need to understand them, know what's happening inside their organization. We slip under their skin, find out how they work. That's what I recommend. But now, Sleeper, it's your turn to lead. Tell us where to begin. Crisis location active. Eavesdropping, Docker debate. Dock surveillance. Oh no, my engineering skills. How useful they will be. Fare thee well, friend. Oh, this is going to take a minute. Okay, this is much easier. Push this to get a perfect. Okay. So I've got half of that one done. I can't help with that. Junie and I aren't very good at this one. It's not going to help me much, though. Positive outcome, shore leave. Oh, fuck, I fucked up. Oh, I got so lucky. Okay. So that's a good use of my dice. Oh, I did not bring enough supplies. Oh, those ones hurt. Okay. Okay. So we dealt with the one thing. Both of these are dangerous. Let's take it a little bit easier. New location discovered. Okay, we got a bar. Bar, good. There's +1 there for me. +1 there for Junie. ID cipher. And both of these are dangerous. Okay, that's good odds. I don't know what else unlocks, but he can do stuff here, and so can Junie. I'll burn my turns over here. Okay. Leave the docker's wrist with the passkey in hand, sure to get you inside one of their safe houses. Now the trick is to find one. Make your way through the docks, head down the dark passageways. Sleeper Marco's gone. Seems like a safe place to talk. He just left. He said he had something he wanted to do and left. That was it. What's going on? I don't know, Sleeper. I don't really know Marco. I thought you and Seraphim... This isn't good, is it? Marco brought you here. He'll get you out. You look down the corridor towards a busier, wider passage where people drift by. You needed to do something then. You needed to deal with something. It doesn't mean anything. But you sure as hell wish he'd given you a warning. Surveilled and now shorthand, this job has gone from bad to worse. Shit. I had to think from him. This is not great. Should have used his stuff. Alright, so now I am starving. +1 stress, +1 crew stress. Let's get the work done. Junie's in great shape. And my rolls are a bit more versatile than hers, so we'll use mine first. Alright. Let's burn my 4 here, see if that helps. It did, but it was neutral. Let's burn that. Burn that, and we're done with this spot. Passkey time. The unmarked door slides open as you use the cipher. Beyond that, a dark tunnel descends. Its roof a mess of bundled tubes and wires. Until you see a flickering light at the far end, you hear the soft echo of raised voices. Let's go and listen in. You drift down the tunnel, keeping your limbs at the side. Here the sides, your passage through the air is silent and gentle. You focus on the flickering light, the sound of the voices growing louder. Descend the tunnel and notice a small, dark doorway leading off before the tunnel reaches the bottom. You slow yourself gently, fingertips grazing the metal walls on either side. Glancing through, you see the doorway leads to a framework balcony high on the side of some dark room. You glance down to the bottom of the tunnel and hear the voices rising in volume. Sleep at the balcony. I'm out on the balcony overlooking a dark, cavernous room, lit in patches with bright light at the end. It's filled with people, Usubo and forces and members, all facing forward, their floating bodies silhouetted by a pool of bright light ahead. And in that pool, two figures are arguing. The room has its entire attention focused on the two figures in the pool of light. Audience keeping to a dark perimeter as if they were observing a piece of theater. These are my territories. You need to withdraw. There's no discussion to be had. You're pathetic. Washgate is a joke like you. Oren makes nothing from the Washgate. All that freight and he lets it slip by while he soaks up the bribes he's stealing from you all. Daichi, you piece of shit, you have no respect. Barely more than an enforcer and already dictating terms. If you had any idea what was happening in the passages, you'd know we were facing sabotage and resistance across the Washgate, Usobo's control is under question. Sabotage and resistance, you quietly log the remark in your mind. Those are the people you have to find. I still know how it is in the passages, but you are getting soft. You can't deal with some angry shop owners. It's easy to mock, but they're organized, and I'm close to rooting out their meeting places. You wouldn't know where to start looking. You say so, old man. In the end, it's only a matter of time before someone ambitious notices how weak you've become, draws a finger across his throat with a grin. Rumor ups and shouts, both sides call out insults. Silence, a voice cuts to the room, raised above all others, the noise drops. Lean forward to get a better view. Ankh and Kita. She was in the first game. Both of you, enough. This is not how we do things. Chaos is replaced by a disgruntled muttering, no one willing to rise above the murmur. Daichi floats to one side, arms coolly folded. Oren fumes opposite of him, his hands in tight fists. So this is how the Starward Ward conducts its business. Animals fighting over scraps. Ankita, Daichi is the one respecting the leadership and the trust that they have placed in. I said enough. Your weakness does not impress me, Oren. Neither does your petulance, Daichi. Watch who you're calling weak, Ankita. You may be Lane's favorite, but I have something that will change all that. Bring him. And it's Marco. This one is a very interesting story to share with all of us. I'm sure you're very aware of the bounty Lane has put on the head of a very valuable escaped sleeper and their accomplices. Well, Marco tells me that same sleeper is right now on a freighter moored at the Washgate docks. I wonder how much cryo was on your and Seraphin's heads. Now, Lane himself will be returning in 3 cycles, and you can imagine how pleased we'll be when I present the sleeper to him. You had no business keeping this from me. I'll be the one to bring the sleeper in. Not so fast, Ankita. First, you wish to bring... The first of you to bring me the sleeper will be given a share of Wash's Gate. That includes you, Daichi. You push yourself onto the corner of the balcony, tucking yourself into the shadows as you hear the tunnel filling with voices. Sobu members are on their way to the freighter that's going to get you off the thing. You feel the panic rising, you're trapped once more. Sleeper, we need to get out of here. It's too dangerous. Somewhere on the rise, you eventually stop. Not sure where you might be going, but needing to get away from what you just witnessed. You can't go back to the freighter, that much is clear, which means no supplies, no place to sleep. Where's Marco? Was this always part of the plan, or is it just him in survival mode? Your mind fills with questions and worries, the path ahead unclear. Did he really give us up? I don't understand, Sleeper. We don't know yet. Saw him and Ankita, what more do you need? Your mind races with questions. You leave this place without Marco, how would Seraphin react? If he's actually been caught by Usobo, can you forgive him for giving in under the pressure? You're struggling to be angry with him, perhaps because you've been where he is now under Usobo's control. What would you have done to escape? Who would you have given up? Tapping of keys on Junie's terminal interrupts your train of thought. Look at her springing into action. Her pragmatism is a strength, and she doesn't understand people and what drives them. To her, Marco's a mystery, but to you, his betrayal is all too familiar. She You'll have to decide how to react. She notices you watching her. We need to find an empty unit here in the rise. We have to stay as far away from the docks as we can. We need time to think, time to come up with a plan. We always do. Okay, I have an entry code for a unit just up here. Wait here, I'll be back. Enjoy your dinner, Alcatraz. Take a moment trying to focus. Maybe you could find those resisting Osobo. They could help you, though you wonder if they ever existed at all, given that Marco was the one who reported their existence to you and Seraphim. Was this whole thing a ploy to bring you to collect the bounty and bring you to Darkside? If you search out Marco, maybe he can answer you, for better or for worse. But you remember Orin's words: sabotage and resistance. If that was an honest plea, then there has been some truth in what Marco said. Usobo was being resisted. Try to gather yourself. You have to bounce back, come up fighting, otherwise this place will drown you in its darkness. I need food. I am starving, and that is going to be really bad for me. Oh, fuck, it's engage. Why is it engage? I'm bad at engage. Okay. I guess I'll have to burn a 4. Alright, burn a 6. Man, that sucks. +2 to resupplied. I can't risk the other one. I can't push either, so yeah, this is gonna get ugly real fast. Wake up in the cold of the abandoned unit to an unsettling quiet. You're alone. In silence, you hear something, a scrape or a scuff. It draws your eyes to the doorway where a shape is settled in the dark. I knew you couldn't have gone far. Just calm yourself. Let's not cause too much damage. May I come in? We don't need any extra attention right now. What are you doing here? Look, just shut up and listen. I'm risking everything by coming up here, so don't make this any harder than it is. What you need to know is this. I'm on your side. I want Darkside free just like you. I hate Lane just as much as you do. I just have different methods, that's all. You might say better methods given how well your visit has gone. Why should I trust you? I'm the only person who can get you off Darkside, so you better listen closely. It's taken me more cycles than you would believe to get this deep into Asobu. I'm not about to give it up for one escapee. But then, Lane usually doesn't run all across the belt chasing a lone escapee, even a sleeper. So you need to tell me now, what does Lane want with you? Why are you so important to him? I don't remember. Please tell me you're joking. What you don't understand, Sleeper, is that I've been trying to keep you safe since I saw you arrive, but your friend hasn't made it easy. Getting him caught by your Sobu is bad enough, but then blabbing about you being here, I can only protect you from so much. Where's Marco? I don't run the gang, he's Orin's. I can't risk starting an internal war. Either way, you're lucky they aren't in the same position. Lucky you aren't in the same position, you have me to thank for that. So I'll ask again, why is Lane pursuing you? My frame's changing. Looks away in thought as you explain. She waits till you to finish. And that's the alarm. None of that makes sense, but there's no way I'm letting Lane get his prize, not until we understand more. I can get you out, but I need a couple of cycles, and I need you to do something for me. I need you to take this with you, off station. She produces a thumbnail drive and holds it out. This is everything I've managed to scrape from within Usubu. The key to challenging Lane is on here, I know it. Take it to Oliveira. It's tucked away in a crater in the shoals, that massive debris field beyond the hollow. You give it to Carmen, no one else. No one else but Carmen, you understand? Lane's rise has been cruel. He's spilt too much blood. When I'm ready, I will make him pay for it. But Carmen needs to analyze what I've got for him, find the right place and the right moment to strike. I knew a sleeper once, and I should have trusted them. So now I'm trusting you. I'll get you out and you deliver. That's the deal. Then together we can... She sifts sideways, grabbing the side of her head. A few small plastic keys drift through the air. Run, Sleeper! Wheels her deck like a club. A shrill whine draws both you and Junie's attention to Ankita. She's holding a boxy pistol at her waist, its side blinking with pale indicator light. She's pointing it at Junie. Don't do that again. You're lucky I don't snap that thing in two, especially when I came to save you, clowns. She looks at you questioningly, trembling and unsure. Back down, Junie. Okay, sorry. So she isn't Usobu? I have to go, Sleeper. You explain this whole thing to your friend if you want, but I won't be here when you do. 2 cycles. Be ready to leave. When Lane comes back, you go out. Neither of us wants him to win here. And a piece of advice, forget Marco. Keep your head down and wait for me. You need supplies? Steal them from Flicker Row. Otherwise, keep to yourself. Alright. The dice stress is not going to help here. Found Marco. No specific memory of it, but there's something unpleasantly familiar with the place you found yourself in. On the many, many stacks of units in the rise. I'm gonna snooze that ad. You found yourself in a corner. Here are locked doors marked with Usobu's signal. A single eel curled back on itself, its mouth and its own tail. The kind of door behind which Usobu keeps its secrets, its assets, like you and Seraphim were, like Marco is now. Engineer or engage. You slip a shipbreaker's chisel from your belt and jam in a lock. Glancing over your shoulders, you try to force the mechanism. Wrench it open, you're in. Long cycles between jobs in a cell like this, awaiting Lane's arrival. Kept safe. A lie you believe when you were first brought to a place like this. Marco's tucked in an inset berth, padded niche like any other's wall. His back is turned to a small window in the door. You slam the interior lock release without thinking. Marco turning over to face the door as it hisses open. Sleeper? Raises his hand as to protect himself. Put something between you and him. Let's go. Marco nods, pushes himself up. He eyes you but doesn't say a word. Recriminations can wait. Back out of the passageway, he follows tentatively. Time to leave. Lucky me, I came to squeeze a little more information from Oren's prize here, but it looks like I've just got everything I need. Now stay still, I prefer I delivered you to Lane in one piece. Man, I love having a +2 for Endure. -1 stress. You punch him in the face and feel the crunch of his nose. Moments later, you and Marco are streaking through the passages of the rise in a haze. Pain fading, but the fear holding strong, desperate to leave this place once and for all. Fuck yeah. Oh, and I got him back. And he doesn't suck for this job. Let's get some food. Oh my god, yes, supplies. I have nothing else I can do. I saved the guy. End cycle. Waken the Baron unit, cloaked in the shadow of Darkside. Lights of the city glitter, but you don't see them. Your attention is instead tugging on a thread in your mind. Lane is drawing ever closer. One more cycle and you're out. There's literally nothing to do. So yeah, we'll rest, we'll get out of here, and then we'll call it for the night. Make it through Darkside recon without getting caught. Marco rises from the earth quietly. You haven't really spoken, keeping busy by your own injuries and the constant fear Daichi will find you. So far he hasn't, and if Ankiti is to be trusted, this is your final cycle on Darkside. Wait in silence, no one eager to speak. A deep fatigue has set in, and in this moment, all anyone can do is wait for this excursion to be over. She's here. Ankita looks at Marco and then at you, a raised eyebrow, the only acknowledgement that you went against her advice. Lane is back on Darkside. We have to go now. We won't have another chance. Come with me, quickly, quietly. You first, Sleeper. She leads you across Darkside, not stopping to look back. The lights, passages flash by, but you barely notice. All eyes are fixated ahead on the way out. At some distant part of the station, she stops at a docking bridge, a small freighter visible through the viewing window. She slaps the door release and slides open. Lane's focus will be on Darkside now. He needs to stop the infighting. Shore up with Sobo. If you get out now, he won't follow. Remember, get that drive to Oliveira. Get it to Carmen. No one else, no matter what they say. Nod. Turns your nod, and then she's gone, disappearing in the endless, winding passages of Darkside. Oh, and the ship is autopiloting. Feel it, the cold fingers reaching into your mind. You're so close. You're here. I can't quite place you. I can't quite put my finger on you, Sleeper, but I know you're there. What were you doing here? Hoping to confront me, perhaps, or something else? I'm right here, you coward. Come and find me. I'll admit, I'm not quite ready for you, but so soon this will all be over. Let me show you. Lane is in the bay of the freighter, the pull of the constant acceleration, comforting pressure against his chest. Looks around the bay, taking in slowly. He exhales the stale air deeply. Feels power. Feels pride. Sense of control over another excites him. This is his desire. Lifts his right hand and turns in the air, flexing his fingers in a satisfying wave. Something... Hey! The spare thought in my head. Something flickers in the corner of your vision. For a moment, you strain to turn Lane's head. It doesn't turn, but you swear you see a figure there in the bay with you. It opens his mouth as if to speak, as if to scream, and then it's gone. Smile grows on Lane's face, a spreading tightness that has its own impulse. He raises one hand and uses it to grip the smallest finger of the other. A pause and then a sudden jerk. Snaps the finger back against the joint. His pain is instant as is yours. It burns your vision away. When the white-hot blindness is faded, you look out upon those same metal walls. You hold the same finger in your hand, and as you release it, you see the crooked shape it has been bent into. Yuck. But you can't help but feel that some part of him is out there behind your eyes, concealing beneath the pain of that snapped finger. Takes a long time before you're ready to discuss everything. First there was the journey to the yard, then disembarking from the freighter, then explaining to the waiting crew why their ship was impounded, something Marco offered 1,000 apologies for. Thankfully, the crew of the ship brought you out of Darkside, sent by Ankita, took the others aside and settled for them. Though the promise of remuneration or the threat of violence you aren't sure, but you expect they will leave together for Darkside soon. You do your best to explain your encounter with Ankita to your crew, but the mention of her name sets off a significant reaction in Bliss. Seems the two have a history, a relationship that fell apart. Bliss removes himself from the conversation. Later on, you find them in the berth, staring at a wall. This whole time, you find yourself in a daze. Your skin hurts, your muscles tremble, you don't feel yourself. You rest for a while, and as you do, conversations echo around you until you find yourself able to rise. Sleeper, can we speak a moment? Go ahead. Thank you, Sleeper. I know I almost cost you everything, but you have to understand something. When they caught me, I was looking for someone important to me. That's why I wanted to come with you. I wanted to get a message to him and know he was all right. I admit, I thought I might be able to bargain on his behalf to get us both out. Bargain using my life? Marco can't bring himself to confirm it, but both know it to be true. All I can say is I'm sorry. Look, you can use the yard when you get back to the Scatteryards. There's some components in there. Take what you want. I'm going to stay here a while. Doesn't meet your eye. He simply turns away and drifts down the corridor. As he does, Seraphim passes him by, receiving no acknowledgement. Oh, different look for Seraphim again. What happened out there, sleeper? He floats there, stretching his scarred arm. The protective sleeve he's been wearing since the far spindle finally removed. The Usobu is fighting amongst themselves. Explain the meeting you witnessed, the conflict between Orin and Daichi and Ankita's intervention. Explaining why Ankita takes a little more effort, but you try to remember everything that happened. You explain her insistence that she was working against Darkside and how she got you off the station. You explain Usobu itself is coming apart with Lane absence, and this will draw his focus away from the two of you. So Ankita got herself into Usobu just to break their grip on Darkside. Take some balls. Explain the drive, mention Oliveira, Carmen, hold up the thumb drive, the one Ankita trusted to you. Oliveira, I've heard of it, maybe once or twice. I assumed it was some backwater colony. Never met a Carmen, though. What's on this thing? She didn't say. I don't get it. We just deliver this mystery drive and that's all? Is that what you want to do next? Oliveira, you've never even heard of it, but it looks like the place to go if you want to help Ankita fight back against Lane. You look at the drive, and as you do, you can't help but feel you're being used, not for the first time. One thing I will say, if we want to head back to Darkside to take on Lane, we're going to need to do so on our ship this time. Some crews get spoofed transponders, send out signals matching another ship. Not going to get one fitted here, but that's something we can look out for. Sure you think go back to Darkside where Lane waits, a shudder of fear. If you ever go back there, you know you need something to counteract him. I also recall the Overseer's presence that moment too. His strange form holding its shape as Lane trying to override your control. Perhaps the Overseer has a way for you to resist his signal. Mind worlds with possibilities and problems. Is this really the right move to go back to the place that almost killed you twice? What are you thinking, sleeper? We need to prepare. Couldn't agree more. Next time will be different. We'll be ready. We'll come up fighting and Lane won't have a clue what's hit him. We'll need work. We need a crew. We need to take the thing to Oliveira. We need to get you strong, sleeper. Speaking of what kept myself busy these past cycles, working in the fabricator bays and the scrapyard, I figured you could use some spares. But first, we rest. I need food so badly. Oh my god, that's a lot of glitches. Fuck. That's bad. Okay. Alright. So the fabricator bay will always make something, but... I am not going to dick around with two glitches. Alright, we fixed that. Oh man, I have no supplies either. That's going to be expensive. Alright. Carmen, dispatches. Okay. Okay, it just saved, so... that is where we're going to call it for the night. That's a lot of progress. And thankfully now I have the ability to like move around and do other things, because I did not like how it railroaded me there for a little while. But let's see who we can raid. Let's see. Doing peak, somebody doing subathon. Let's see. Yeah, let's read my friend Emmy here. She's good people. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me. I hope you had a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever it is in your part of the world. Reminder, you can check out all of my older content, my clips, and my shorts here on YouTube, which that's not working right because the bot's acting up. So, okay, no, you can't, but I do have the links around. So check my about section below the stream. You'll be able to find all that stuff there. I did also add some. Oh, hey, it is working. It's just a little slow tonight. I do have a Discord where you can catch a bunch of stuff before you can see it anywhere else. I will say I just put a nice piece of art up in the Discord today. So, yeah, it's always worth checking out and seeing stuff there before it shows up anywhere else. And I do have all of my socials here, if that'll load sooner rather than later. But otherwise, let's see here. I think that's about all we've got. Let me see here. Where's Emmy? There she is. All right, everybody, we're raiding out now. Have a good one.